Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome back to yet another episode on Little's Law YouTube channel. So, in this video, we will see what if we don't have the ViewGen in a scenario where we want to create a script for load testing, and what in this scenario we don't have a ViewGen not available in our system, or if it doesn't work at that particular scenario. So, we will see a contradiction or contradict topic like what if we don't have a ViewGen. So first let's discuss what the virtual user generator, or we usually call the ViewGen. So the ViewGen or the virtual user generator, which we see here, is a key component in LoadRunner that allows us to record any user interaction with our application and then generate a script based on those interactions. This script can be used to simulate user activity during load testing. So for example, in case if we want to record a script for a SAP or for a RTE, a remote terminal emulator, or even for a web, the most common are the web services or the Windows sockets. So this ViewGen helps us to record any user interactions for any of these type of applications. But what if we don't have access to ViewGen? In this scenario, we have still some options available, and that is what we are going to see in this video. So what is the first option? The first option is to use a different recording tool. So there are other recording tools available in the market that can record the user interactions and generate scripts for load testing. For example, we can use the Fiddler, the JMeter, or even the Selenium, the most used automation tool in the market to record user interactions and then convert those recordings into load testing scripts. So when it comes to the second option, we can write the script manually. If we have access to the API documentation, we can write the load testing script manually, like what we see here. So we can write the manual script with the functions we have, with the LR functions or with the web functions. So we can write any script that we want to create, and this involves using a scripting language such as JavaScript or Python to make HTTP requests to the API and handle the responses. So while this approach may be more time consuming, it gives us a great control over the load testing script, since we are the one who are creating it. So we have a lot of control over the load testing script. So the next option, or the last option we have, is using a codeless testing tool. So there are codeless testing tools available in the market that allows us to create load tests without writing any lines of code, and these tools use a visual interface to create test cases and scenarios. While they may not be as powerful as writing a script manually, they are often more accessible and easier to use. So these are the three options. So just to give a quick recap, we can use a different recording tool such as Fiddler or JMeter or Selenium, or we can write this script manually like what we have the JavaScript or Python to make the HTTP request to the API and handle the responses. And while the last and the third option is using a codeless load testing tool, which will create load test without writing code, and these tools use a visual interface to create test cases and scenarios. So finally, as we all see that there are still options available if we don't have access to ViewGen in LoadRunner, whether it's using a different recording tool or writing the script manually or using a codeless load testing tool, we can still simulate user activity and perform load testing on our application. I believe this video would have opened a different doors of opportunities for you, and it's quite a different experience or a lot of learning for you and with more information. So until I meet you in another interesting video, it's bye bye from Vasan Shanmugam and Little's Law.